Alright, so this is my first time trying to use Epic Pen for this, and I can't figure out how to make this full screen, so it's gonna be kind of scuffed. Um, so I personally feel like hindsight coaching is useless coaching, because obviously if you knew it was gonna happen, you could change what you're doing. So I'm gonna try and do my best to be not hindsight coaching. Um, And I haven't really gone through and see any of this either, so.
Why do you struggle? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attack commencing. Capture objective A.
Forward, my friends!
So something you could be doing, if you use your blinks out of spawn, you'll probably get them back before you need them, so you can be trying to get out fast enough that you can at least partially set up before your team gets ready to engage. But that's not like a big thing. Okay, so this is I don't know. Oh, that's too far. So this is fine, right? But you're kind of really far out of your, because you're shooting, most of your bullets are hitting an armored monkey, so you're doing almost no damage. So you had 10% alt charge, so you get another 10% alt charge from that. So it's just not a valuable use of time. You'd be better off setting up for high ground or something, or having done this 3 clicks sooner. This is a good spot for the ride. Did he? Oh, he got brig heals. Unlucky. So I'm assuming you're backing out because you're down people. Yep. That's good. You can chase monkey. Alright. So what I would have done, you see how low he is? You could have double blinked to him and just finished him off, because you have the resources to do that, and you would have ended up in a spot where you're still pretty safe. And if not, you would have had recall by then. Yeah. If you double blinked, you could have been a lot closer and actually got him. He's probably gonna get away now. Yeah. So that's just using cooldowns aggressively when the opportunity to use a kill from it is present. So even if you had to double blink and recall, it's all of your cooldowns, but it's worth it to get the kill. Especially since you're kind of waiting for your team to reset anyways, you would probably have everything back before you would need them again, and they'll still be down a person. And even if monkey comes back, you won't be able to set up in a good spot. So don't be afraid to commit a lot of resources to get into your kill. Yeah, she already used her bash, so you didn't need to recall. You could have just blinked backwards. Kind of aggressive, but you have recall, so it's fine. That's good kill, good recall. Alright, so right here, what I would do, because you're kind of gonna end up taking a lot of damage from Ryan, is I would go back to where your soldier is, because that's one blink away. You have the blink, and that puts you out of Reinhardt's range, and you're still doing a bunch of damage. One 12 health. You didn't need to recall here. You could have blinked, and you could have finished your mag. I mean, you get this back before you needed it again, but try not to use the recall if you don't actually have to. It's a really bad habit to break. Like, I play a lot of Tracer, even in Diamond, and it's still like I still do that a lot. It's a hard habit to break, but it's
Commence
a good thing
attack
to learn how to
objective
not do. So this is like I mean, like I guess you're kind of waiting for your team, so this is fine. I would have moved back here so you can play in this area because you have the mini right there, and you have so many walls and so much cover. So this is a good spot back here. So I would have come to play over here faster, but this is. I mean, if that bomb hit, that would have been really good. So that's like a high risk, high reward kind of thing. Ooh, yeah, that was really close to the Reaper to be playing.
I am taking the objective.
Well, I think there's a widow of the that's good. Yeah, not bad. Biggest thing I would say,
Prepare your defenses.
not being afraid to commit resources to a kill, and then not using recall when you don't have to, and setting up in a flank position sooner, so that you can be there when the fight starts. Alright.
One. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Alright, everyone.
This is so. Check this out. I can go back.
Objective A.
Oh, yeah.
Alright,
Okay. Oh shoot.
everyone.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay. So for where you start setup, you can. So one of the places you can go is this ledge up here. You can come play up here. And you just kind of like you wait for their front line to commit, and then you can drop onto their back line. And what it does is it lets you recall back up to high ground where you're safe. Another thing you can do, if you see they're on dive, you can play high ground and wait for the dive. Because like high ground's super effective because it lets you get people weak, and then you can drop on, kill them, and you can recall back up to a safe spot. So even playing like over here on this ledge, because it also gives you the stairs you can come down. Oh shoot, hold up. That button. Okay. That's fine. So here's something. You just right. This is fine. You see they're going up there. I like the decision to not chase the hog like that, but you use 2 blinks here that you don't have to. So now you have like no blinks when you re-engage here. So like you used all of your cooldowns to get to the fight. So now you don't have them for the fight when you actually need them. Unlucky.
Well, that just happened.
This is not good.
Defend the objective.
You're down people. This is fine. It looks like Symmetra's wanting to recontest. You have a tank here. When Ryan dies, right here, everyone's dead and they have the point. So at this point, you should just back out to hold second, because if you stay here, they're gonna kill you. And then you'll be a person down and they'll stagger second point. Yeah, you're gonna die. Yeah.
Back in the fight.
So now, ooh, they didn't push that. Usually, after getting opening picks like that, they would just rush onto point and try and double cap. I'm surprised they're not already at point. This is really good. So make sure you wait until they're distracted though. Selective fighting diva. Yep. Perfect. Yep. Ooh. Wait. You should be holding recall right now. If you ever get stuck or something, if you hold down the button, it'll activate the first frame it's possible. Which I still don't think that would have saved you though. See, like you're trying to get the Ana finisher, which is fine. It's kind of unlucky you backed out, but like at this point right here, you know there's the Widow behind you and 3 people. So there's 4 people looking at you right now, which is you should just recall as soon as you can. As soon as you see the 4 people there. Like if you have more than 2 people trying to kill you, you gotta back out. That's wasting damage. So that's fine if you saw her. Did she fade? I don't know if you saw her fade or not. Yeah, so she hasn't actually faded, so she probably has fade. You should have probably tried to stick the Ash instead. Another thing for pulse bombs that helps with landing those, you're like kind of really close. Like this is the distance you want. Even this is like kind of close, right? Like it's easier to land bombs when you're not this close. Because then something like that, where they just have to move a tiny bit and it's so much farther on your screen than it would otherwise be. And then looking down a little helps. Yeah, you're getting really close to people. And you probably didn't have to use recall either. Yeah, you could have blinked backwards. You didn't use recall. Okay, so they have, I think they still have the Widow, and if not, they have the Ash. So typically these heroes like to play up on this bridge right here. So if you know they're playing up there, you could go up the stairs around here and go up there for your rollout to get rid of them. If you have at least 1 person on point. But I don't actually think there's anyone up there right now. Yep, this is good. Tracking this.
You got what's coming to ya.
Oh, actually, you know what? So your tracking is usually pretty good, but what I would do right here is something that might help for starting. If you try and like make sure you're already following, like you start tracking them and then start shooting. Which just kind of helps with like not losing bullets before you start.
You got what's coming to ya.
But I mean, I don't know. That's just sometimes you guessed a movement wrong. Micro flick the tracking can help with that. So right here, this is kind of like you're waiting for them to come in, but you're using cooldowns like for no reason. Like between the, so you come out. When did you? Okay, right. So 36 to there's still no one. They're still not committing. Still waiting for them. And here they are. Right. So that's like 20 seconds. You could have got to anywhere around here in 20 seconds without using cooldowns. And now you're fighting people without cooldowns. 2 people's attention plus who's ever over there. It's kind of a lot. Yeah, that's a good decision to back out. Good. When you recalled right here, 42 health, the hog wasn't looking at you, and he's almost dead. And you had ammo, you could have just killed him. This isn't even supposed to kill you, and it has a slow TTK. No need to recall. Reload. Ooh, now imagine if you had recall. Recall would have been nice there at that. That's fine, recall. This is good, right? Look. 4 people, their attention is this way, their backline is opened up to you. I would have went for a pulse bomb instead of just shooting, but I think we go for it now. Too close. You keep getting way too close. So the distance you want, right here, right? Blink recall, or blink pulse bomb. And then this puts you at the perfect distance to land it, but getting close, way too close, like you blink past them. And then backing out, yep, good. Ooh, not backing out, hold up. Right here, it's like you started to back out. Like you could have blinked in here and blinked back towards the health pack, or you blink back towards your team, but you didn't use your second blink. You could have blinked back towards the Reinhardt. That would have put you in Lucio heals and given you the shield. But you didn't. This is what I was saying about the people on high ground. If you roll out to the left, you can go up to the high ground and get them off. At least make them back out. Don't jump. Jumping's a bad idea against hit scans like that. It makes you easy to hit. Just AD and crouch spam. Yep, good idea to back out.
Much better.
I would go reset high ground. You can go play low ground. You kind of just want to put yourself in a spot where you can get value if they start to push. Keep in mind, their Widow has sights right now, and she's probably looking through this door, so make sure you play these corners really well. A lot of people's attention. Your Reinhardt should be up here. Yep, this is good. Get the Ash. I get her. Alright, you need to recall and get out. Your opportunity window is up. Alright. You're too late to back out. You're gonna die. Yeah. So, this is kind of like opportunity window. Your opportunity window started here. You see her, and this is cooldown things. Actually, let me go back. Where did you use cooldowns that you didn't need to? You didn't need to use those. One is fine because you'll get that back. Like, again, you're engaging with no cooldowns. Like, see, this blink is fine, but the one to get up close you probably didn't need. Didn't need that blink. You didn't need that blink, right? So now you didn't need that blink either. Although this one, I won't complain about that one because that gets you to the spot faster for the flank. Yeah, you use 2 blinks you didn't need to. So this is where your opportunity window starts, right? The problem is you're down 2 blinks. So that's gonna shorten the length of your opportunity window because you have less cooldowns. You did a ton of damage though, you're in a good spot, right? So you're in a good spot right now. So you have, that was your last blink, right? So the only cooldown you have left is recall, and you need to be able to get out. So this is the end of your opportunity window, because you need to wait here as long as you can to get blinks back, recall, and then blink out. Like the opportunity window started here and ended after this clip. So it's unlucky you didn't get the kill because their healer peeled for them, which sometimes that just happens. But this you should just be getting out. There's a mega over here. There's a mega. You could get the mega and then hide in this corner for your cooldowns to come back. Just think out. But you're here for too long. And then you die. Like, this was your opportunity window ended at like 308, and you don't actually start backing out for, oh shoot, hold up, 5 seconds. Oh, okay. I'm probably overdoing this point. Right, your opportunity window ended here at 316. You don't actually back out. You don't start backing out until 308. So 316 to 308 is 8 seconds. So you gave them 8 seconds to kill you. And it took them all 8 seconds. Actually, it took them longer than that. It's like that was, they should have killed you faster. Good go up, good on it. That was a good stick. Perfect. Just keep in mind. So, okay, I know this is like a side tangent for fighting hogs. I know it's really like tempting to get up super close because usually they miss because it's hard for them to hit the tracer, and they probably will hit you if you're farther back because of the spray. But if you play in this range right here, this is perfect because you still get full damage on them, and they can't one-shot you with anything, especially if they just use hook like this. Like, the most they're going to do to you is like 50 damage with the shot, which you have cooldowns. Like, just try not to be too close. Which, yeah, you kept perfect distance the whole time, so that's good. I don't know what you're shooting at. Or I missed something. Yep, this spot is fine. Come up with Lucio. Perfect. Opportunity window. Gone. Oh. On. Right, start of opportunity window. End of it. Because you got Ash shooting at you, Widow shooting at you, and Monkey comes in later, but you don't know he's there right now. And this is, I mean, they code you in less than a second of the end of your opportunity window, which is, this death was unlucky. I don't know what they would have done. Okay. You're wasting damage. He's nano boosted and armor, so you're doing a quarter of your usual damage. So you're doing like maybe 1 damage per bullet. You're better off shooting hog. The pulse bomb was fine, the recall was fine. You just shoot hog and kill him. Or pulse bomb the monkey, that's fine. Good bomb. You recalled with full health, and honestly, even although that was last second, right? So I'll call it here. You recalled with 24 health. Finish the monkey, finish the monkey. Finish the monkey. Look at him, look at him. Look at his health. That's literally like half a clip. Or a full clip of body shots. And you could get to him. You didn't need to slot targets. Good. Finish the Moira when she gets out of... You're swapping targets too much. Alright, cool, you do go back to her. Nice. Yeah, you could have went back to her sooner though. But you did go back to her. Yeah, if you get a target weak, finish them. You didn't. This blink just threw you off so hard. This, you don't need to blink. He's already at the perfect range for you. All you did was make it harder for you to hit shots. Alright. But that blink almost saved his life. It's fine. Yep. You had their attention. Good idea. Oh, that was not. Backing out was good. The recall was not, because the recall puts you back here and you probably could have got to the Mega Fine. Or the Mini. But you kind of just recalled into a really bad spot without a lot of blinks. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You'd have been fine if you didn't recall. You wasted recall and caged yourself. Because you still had. Actually, make sure. You still had 100 health, and you cut LOS right here. Your Lucius here. 70. And you almost had the blink. You could have been fine. Yeah.
Oh, let's break it. Damn!
He's nano boosted. He takes 50% damage. You're wasting bomb damage. You're wasting bullet damage. You're better off shooting the Moira. Who was right here. Shoot the Moira. Then when this goes away, you can both pop it. You almost got the Moira anyway. So yep. Now you go for the hog. Go for the hog. Go for the hog. Good help. You gotta make sure you're finishing your kills. I don't know how he got that low, but look at him. Right there. That's like half a clip from body shots. Yep, he got heals. Yeah, he lived. You could kill him. This is unlucky.
Administer.
Alright, not bad, not bad. So, yeah, I would say finish your kills and stop using cooldowns when you don't actually need to. You want to try and engage with full cooldowns. Yeah, those are pretty much the only two things. Yeah, so I hope that's helpful.